Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are finally going to review the new Tatibeauty Blendiful product. So you guys want to see what my thoughts are on this? Does this work for me? Then definitely keep on watching. Alright guys, so I do want to apologize with somewhat of my makeup already done. If you guys don't already know, I do like doing my eyes first. I just find that if I have any fallout, it's so easy just to do it first. That way I can put my foundation on, clean everything up. So that is what you're seeing today. I did go in with my Tatibeauty eyeshadow palette. You guys already know this is my ride or die. I use this like all the time. All I did was go in with Story. I just went in with the pressed glitter along with the matte right there, and then I'll finish the rest of my face up later. But for today's video, I finally got my hands on the Blendiful product. Now, I have watched quite a bit of reviews on this, and there's been a little bit of mixed reviews. So for the first time, I did not order express shipping, and I saw that they finally shipped everything express. The last time I ordered the texture neutral palette, I got that in express. It never came expedited. There are people who paid for standard shipping that got their product way before I did, even though I paid for expedited. So this time around, I said, oh, screw it, I'm not gonna pay for expedited. And then I actually had to wait, and I kind of laughed because everybody who paid for expedited actually got theirs way beforehand. So I was like, damn, I dropped the ball on that one. But I saw this when she talked about on her channel, and I was like, okay, I have to try this out because anything that Tati sells, I buy. Let's just be realistic here. I'm a huge Tati stan, and I tend to buy everything that she likes except for the Smashbox foundation. That was just pure butt shit, and I hated that one. But I saw this and it's like, I have to give it a go. Now, like I said, I did watch a bit of reviews on the product because I wanted to make sure I came into this video with the correct information and knowing how to use the product correctly. Now, everybody that I've seen, Mandy MUA, Laura Lee, Allie Glines, really hyped up the product and really loved it. But then I saw like a drama channel, Sebastian Williams, saying that he had a little bit of fiber issues, as well as Paige Corin. I love her to death, but I watched both of her videos where she was kind of having trouble with the Blendiful. The first video around, she got a lot of negative feedback, which I really can relate to her. Like I felt so bad because she did the best as she could, and then she did second video doing an update, and she still keeps doing updates in her videos now, and she's still trying to make the product work for her. But when I saw all the big YouTubers raving about how amazing it was, I kind of took a step back and was like, is it really that great, or are they just saying it because it's their coworker, it's their friend, and it's their colleague? Like, what's the real tea about the product? So I figured, why not do this same thing today and review it. Now, since watching Paige's video, I kind of took a few pointers from her. I did open up my set right here, and no surprise, I have a second set giveaway, shocker. I'll get into that later. But I went ahead and I washed this and I dried this way before this video so that I can make sure that there's no tiny hairs and fibers that would get onto my face like it happened to Paige, and I saw it happen to Sebastian Williams as well. But for some reason, all the bigger YouTubers, they didn't have any issues with that, so I don't know if they just neglected to talk about it. I'm not entirely sure. But for today's video, what I want to do is I want to do a half a face of using this and the other half using just my standard Morphe sponge to see which one is a better applicator. Now, I'm gonna preface this video by saying that I am not a professional makeup artist by any means. I'm still learning, and I don't know what I'm doing half the time, so please be mindful of that. I am just an average consumer that just wants to buy a product and see if it works just like all these beautiful, amazing gurus say it does, and I just want to see if it really does. I also want to let you guys know I do not have any cream contour. Every single video I saw, everybody was using a cream contour. Never gotten into cream contour, so I don't really think I can review that aspect because all I have is powder, and I don't know if this will work for powder. We can try, but if not, I might just have to skip that step. So I want to let you guys know that this Blendiful right here, this does retail for $18. You do get this big, I mean, God, this looks like, this takes up almost my entire face, especially if I go like this. That's what it reminds me of. And then you have this little heart right here. I haven't really seen anyone playing around with this too much. I think I might just use this to blend out the concealer, but everybody's been messing around with this bad boy right here. Like I said, both these retail for $18, which is really not a bad price for two. But when I look at my Morphe sponge, this retails for $7. I could buy two of these for $14. And then my Real Techniques retails for, I think, like, what, $10 for two? Although Paige finds her 4-pack for like 12 bucks at TJ Maxx, which I'm gonna have to go in there and check it out. So, I mean, it's not the worst price in the world, but I don't really play with powder puffs that often. I do have my Laura Mercier that I got with my translucent setting powder. I played around with that, but I just only ever use it for setting powder, so I don't really use it for anything else. So we're gonna see whether or not this is a great product. I'm gonna give you guys my full honest review. If I like it, that's great. If I don't, well, I tried. But let's just go ahead and dive on into this. Okay, so all the really big YouTubers use really fancy primers. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer right here because I've been using this quite a lot recently and I've been kind of getting into it. I'm gonna take this little powder puff on this side. I'm gonna dig into here so it's nice and on the product, and I'll do this side with the top with the Blendiful, and I'll do this side with the Morphe sponge. So let's just go ahead and dab that in. I would definitely say holding this in the hands, it's really soft and comfortable. It feels like I'm like taking like a teddy bear and just like kind of squishing it against my face. It's really like, I mean, look at this. I think it helps how flexible it also is because I did wash it. That's something I did learn from Paige, is to wash it first, just in case if there's any like fibers or extra hairs that's on the product. I wanted to make sure I took care of that. Looks fine to me. Now we're gonna go into with my Morphe sponge. I actually never apply my primer with a Morphe sponge, so this would be kind of interesting to see. All right, so looking at my face, honestly, it looks like my Beauty Blender added more product onto the face right here than this one. This one kind of just looks more like just my natural skin again, where this one looks like it actually has my primer on it. There, you can see that it's still sitting lightly on the blender, and then the product right here, I mean, I put it on this side and you really don't see it at all. So I really don't have much to base on it, other than it seems okay to me. I really, honestly, I can just tell the slightest difference. Now for the true test of the foundation. So I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. I really do like this foundation. It's not the best at containing the oil because I'm a very oily girl, but it does a great job keeping the oil back for several hours, and then I had to kind of blot it, which would be great for this little guy right here. You guys always ask me how come I can't blot my face when I'm at work. I'm a server at Disney. I do not have time to blot my face, but if I can keep this little bad boy in my pocket and use this to blot the oil, that'd be fantastic. All right, so I'm just gonna take 2 little pumps right here in the back of my hand. This is what I use for my foundation. And we're gonna go on this side, dab it in. That's how it looks. On Paige's first video, she just dabbed it on like you would a beauty blender, but on the website it says to really sweep the motion in. Like according to the website, it says for step 2, I already did the primer, it says for step 2, it says easily glide on foundation with a sweeping or buffing motion to achieve a flawless and airbrush finish. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sweep it on. Okay, so by me doing this sweeping motion right here, I really feel like it leaves my skin not necessarily looking streaky, because I don't really see any streak marks in my skin, but it really sheared out my foundation. Like it makes it look like it's a lightweight foundation, and this is a full coverage foundation. Like really, it does a great job covering as much as I could. And even though it has a satin finish, I still feel like my skin looks very sheer, almost as if I just put on a moisturizer, like a tinted moisturizer, than an actual foundation. Like I don't see any streakiness on it. It looks really nice without having any streakiness, but it just really like, it made my foundation like disappear. Okay. All right, so going in with 2 more pumps, we're gonna go in with my Beauty Blender, and we're gonna do the dabbing motion. Okay, so if you guys look over here, I know it's kind of hard to tell with the beauty lights, but this side is more full coverage than, I mean, I know that this absorbs some of the product, so you end up going through more product, but I would definitely say this is more full coverage. I feel like it deposited more of the foundation than the actually Blendiful did. Like you can still see my redness and everything right here. Like you can like see, like I could see like a definition. So I'm gonna go back in with this again and see if I could add just more. See if I can make it a little bit more full coverage. No, I just feel like by me trying to sweep it, do that sweeping motion, I feel like it just is taking off the product. You guys can clearly see it's taking off the product. Oh, okay. What if I try blotting it in like I would a beauty sponge? Okay, so I noticed that by me blotting it in like I would a beauty sponge, I'm actually getting a little bit more full coverage out of the actual product. The sweeping motion I find is just not working for me, and I know that you're supposed to find a way to make this work. You're supposed to maneuver it and find tips and tricks to make it work. You can still see where it is a little sheared out right here, and especially like on the forehead, but it's starting to work a little bit more as I'm blotting the product in instead of doing that sweeping motion. So maybe the sweeping motion works for a lot of people, but it's not necessarily working for me right now because it's just really shearing out my full coverage foundation. So now that that's like this, I'm gonna leave it the way it is because I really wanna give this product a full test. I'm gonna put on some concealer. All right, so the concealer I'm just going in with today, I'm going in with my Revlon Candid Concealer right here. I am in the shade 027. I'm gonna take it and just very, I don't really do too much concealer because I'm not the biggest fan of bright under eyes. All right, so it says for concealer, use the pointed tip to easily lay down a smooth and even amount of concealer where precision is needed. So we're gonna go in with this one right here, and we're gonna use the pointed tip. We're gonna sweep that out. Sweep it, and then sweep it, and then buff it. I feel that really put in the product nicely. All right, let's try it with my Morphe sponge. Okay, so looking at the two right here, honestly, I really can't tell too much of a difference when it comes to the concealer. I could definitely say that this just did the exact same thing as my beauty blender did. It really just kind of pushed the product into the skin. I see it sitting right there, but it's not sitting on there too heavily. But it just makes you look so sheared out. Like, I don't really like full coverage concealers just because I'm not the biggest fan of bright under eyes. So I think it really did a great job shearing it out the way that I wanted it to. And right here, you can just see it looks a little bit more full coverage on this side than this one does. But I really do like how this one looks coverage wise. So the next step is going to be what she calls is putting the contour on. But again, I don't use I don't use cream contour, I use powder contour. So instead I'm gonna actually bake my face and then we'll do the contour because I figured that'd be an easier step. So for baking, I'm just gonna go with my Allie loose setting powder right here. This is in the shade Translucent. And we're gonna take it, put some in this little guy right here. And let's go on this side because I haven't really played around with this side too much. Picks up the product nicely. Ooh. So that is how that looks right there. And then let's go in with my Morphe sponge. Okay, so I know I put on a lot of powder right there, but I really wanted to see the difference between the two. So I noticed that with the Blendiful, it really laid the powder down so nicely, so beautiful. It makes it look like a really nice airbrush finish. This right here, since this is a damp beauty sponge, you guys can see where it just picked up extra powder and just laid it down right here, and this can make it look really, really cakey and look too heavily. Yes, did I go in just a little bit much? I did, and I'd have to really just kind of brush it out like so. I noticed that the Morphe sponge picks up a lot more product than the Blendiful, but Blendiful makes it look so nice and beautiful. So let me go ahead and blend this out, and look, you can just see the powder just sitting right there. So let's go ahead and push this into the skin. That looks really nice. That looks really, really, really nice. It gives my face like a very, very nice, soft looking texture. So if I blot it out with if I press it in with my beauty blender, like my Morphe sponge really does have a really nice, beautiful airbrush finish to it. But so does this powder side right here. I think the only reason why this side just looks more shittier than this side is just for the mere fact that this is very sheared out right here because it didn't lay the foundation down as much as I wanted it to. But other than that, I really do like how it lays down setting powder. It lays down setting powder so nicely. It really gives it that really soft airbrush effect, and I like that a lot. Okay, so now time for the contour. So like I said, they use contour products. They use cream contour, which I do not have. So it says folding in half around your finger, use a stripping motion to pick up and lay down your contour to the angle of your face and softly buff out the edges. Once again, I don't use cream products, so I don't know how well this is gonna work, and I feel like it's not really fair to the product, but we're gonna still give it a try, you know, gotta try it somehow, right? So I'm gonna fold it in half like it tells me to. I'm gonna use my MAC Give Me Sun right here. Take very, ooh. I'm gonna lay it down. I'm gonna sweep it up like she did in her video. Okay, so it's not the worst thing in the world messing around with this when it comes to powdered bronzer, because it actually is laying the product down and it's easy to kind of mess around with. But my only thing is you can kind of see where there was like a harsh line. So I am gonna go in with my brush right here just to kind of like clean that up just very, very slightly. It's not the worst. It's not the worst. But we're gonna go in on this side with my bling brush. This is my F3. You guys know how much I love bling brushes. Very, very lightly tap it out and just very lightly put it on this side. Lays down so nicely. So you could definitely see the difference between the two. This one's just a little bit more harsh compared to this side. Looks more airbrushed and more blown out. Looks prettier. I think it has to do with the fact that I'm using a powder product to do contour instead of a cream product. So it's not necessarily fair to the blender, but I'm definitely still gonna keep trying because I really want to. So let's go ahead and try the top of the face. Let's see how the top of the head looks. Go back in with that. Lightly just buff it on. It's not laying it down horribly. Surprisingly, it's really not. Okay, so now to try out the highlighter, that was the last step on the website. So for the highlighter, it says take an angled side, dab on cream or powder highlight to place where you want to glow. So we're gonna take my Milani right here. This is Milani Dolce Perla right here. I'm gonna we'll go with this side right here. Ooh, really picks up that product. And we're gonna place it. Ooh, I like how that lays that down. That laid that down really, really, really nicely. It just looks like it has a really wet sheen to it, even though in reality it's not that type of highlighter. Gives it that nice glow. That looks really nice. I really like how that looks with that. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my JO2 highlighting brush right here. So you guys see that right there? See, I laid that down and it has just a very, very nice, like kind of lit within type of glow, but this side makes it just pop right in your face. You guys see the difference between the two? I could definitely say this does a great job laying down some highlighter. So let me go ahead and finish the rest of my face off camera. I'll come back and give you guys my full opinions on this. Okay guys, so now that the rest of my face is on, let's go ahead and look at this one more time in the mirror. So looking at the two sides, I know it's really hard to tell with beauty lights, but I can see a clear difference in the skin. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the primer. Using this as a primer, I didn't mind it at all. Like, it really wasn't bad. I feel like it really helped to deposit the product into the skin. I felt like it made my skin look really smooth and velvety, and I didn't notice anything wrong with it. The foundation, I'm not a fan of using this with a foundation. Unfortunately, when I look at the two sides, I still feel like my Morphe sponge right here makes this look more airbrushed and flawless. I feel like it deposited more of the coverage of the foundation, whereas this right here, even though it did apply it, it really, really, really sheared out my foundation. So I could see a little bit of my skin peeking through right here. I could see some really sheared out parts right here, and as well as the forehead. That is something that I'm not the biggest fan of, because this is supposed to be almost a full coverage foundation, and unfortunately it really sheared out the product. Whereas with this side, I only took 2 pumps and you could see the full effect of the foundation right here. When it comes to the concealer, I really did not mind putting the concealer on this. Yes, it kind of sheared out the concealer just a smidge, but I really didn't mind that for my personal taste because I'm not the biggest fan of full coverage concealers because I don't look cakey or get cracks and creases and stuff like that. So I had no problem with putting that on. For the setting powder, I have got to say I really liked using this product for the setting powder. I felt like it made my skin look so beautiful. It laid down just amount of product. It really pushed it into the skin, and it was so easy to buff into the skin and really make the product stick. I mean, granted, I will say that even though my side right here looks better, this did such a great job with putting down the setting powder, and I really liked it for the setting powder. As for the bronzer or contour, you can still see the harsh line right here. I don't think it's really meant for powder contour. Unfortunately, I do not use cream contour at the moment, so I feel like this is not the best application for it. I didn't really do a bad job on the forehead. I think I laid the forehead down pretty nicely, but using it right here, you can really see where there's just that harsh line of where it was at, so I don't think it's the best for that, and whereas this side looks really nice and blended and buffed out. Now for the highlighter, look at that. I mean, it really made my highlight just freaking pop, whereas right here it's just more of a glow within, and right here it could really makes the highlight just like boom in your face. So definitely it's a great product for using for the highlight. Overall thoughts, is this a game changer like Tati said it was a game changer? I don't think so, unfortunately. Like, I was really hoping for something better than a powder puff. I do like the concept of this being machine washable because anybody out there like myself can be really lazy, and sometimes I'm not the best at washing my products as often as I should, so the fact I could just throw this in the wash and dry it, I think is a fantastic idea. I really had nothing much to say about this because I haven't really played around with this at all. I mean, I bet you could probably use this to do the concealer as well. Maybe I should have done it with that, but I'm definitely going to keep this in my pocket to really blot out any oil to see how well it does with the oil, see if it helps to control the oil and make my skin look right back to how it was before I start getting really oily. So overall, I mean, the fact that this is $18, it's really not a bad product, but unfortunately it's not the best what I wanted it to be. I thought this was gonna be like a new holy grail foundation game changer, and unfortunately it's just not, in my opinion. Now this is just my first impression of the product, so I'm definitely gonna keep playing with it every single day to really see if I can manipulate and learn more about this. So my first impression is just that it's not meant for foundation personally to me, but I think it's definitely meant for highlighting and for setting powders for sure. I think that's a great tool that I'm gonna use this for. Even the concealer, I'm gonna keep using this for the concealer, but as for foundation, I'm not the biggest fan. I think my Morphe sponge did a better job of laying down the product, making it look so full coverage. I feel like the side with the Morphe sponge just looks so much better, more defined, and it's the only reason why I feel like it looks better than the Tatibeauty one is just because it sheared out my foundation. I feel like if it didn't shear out the foundation, this side would look just as immaculate as this side, in my personal opinion. So this is a really cool idea, and I really do like the concept of it. I just feel like I need to get a better hang of it to really say this is a really big game changer. This is the best. You have to go get it. I just want to let you guys know you guys can still purchase this right now as I'm filming the video, and I am filming it Friday, January 17th. I'm struggling over my words, but it's still available for purchase right now. And it looks like on the website the Texture Neutral palette is still available for purchase as well. So overall, this is a really cool concept. I definitely had to play around with it more to get a feel, but it's not a bad idea, and I definitely want to see what else it has to hold. I was just really hoping that her second product would have been like another eyeshadow palette, or maybe some foundations or concealers, because she is so amazing at reviewing all these products that I really wanted something that I can grab hold of and say this is Tati. And because like when I got this blew me out of the water. It's so fantastic. I'm in love with it. You guys know how much I love this, so I really wanted her second product to be the same. And while this isn't the worst thing in the world, it just right now isn't my favorite, but it's just because I have to play with around a lot more to really get a feel of it. So it's a cool idea, but it's not the best for some products for me personally. So with that said, guys, I do have a little small giveaway. It's my first giveaway of 2020, which I'm really excited to announce. But not only did I buy a set for myself, but I bought a little set to give away to one of you guys. I know it's nothing big, but I just wanted to say cheers to the new year and give back to you guys and give away a Tati Beauty product, because you guys know how much I love Tati. She is everything. She's what I aspire to be. Her and Robert D. Christie are like my idols, what I want to be like. If I ever grow here on this platform, that's what I aspire to be. So I just wanted to give back to one lucky subscriber. So all you guys have to do to enter in this giveaway is make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and leave a comment down below where I can find you, either be Twitter, Instagram, email, and then make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up as well. I will have the giveaway end next Saturday, the 25th, and I will announce the winner on this video right here, as well as in the community page. I think I might do things a little differently and not fully say who the person is, or unless the person wants me to. It's up to them. I just want to respect their privacy. So yeah guys, that is it. That's all I had to do to be entered in this giveaway, and I really hope that one person out there can make this work magically for them, and I'm gonna keep messing around with it to make sure it can work magically for me as well. So that is it for today's video. If you guys like this video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post, well, I post almost every damn day at this point, because I have so many videos to film, and I love being here, and I kind of miss Vlogmas a little bit. So yeah guys, make sure you guys head on over to my other channel. It is Our Florida Life. You guys can see my cool, wonderful adventures, amazing fiance Corey. And as always guys, I want to thank you guys for all your love and support. I'll see you guys very next video. Bye. It was so easy to buff in thoughts, or my first impressions on this. Hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to my lips are so crusty, and I never got it, and I've never gotten a cream tone contour. I've used for 7. I could buy 2, and then my real technique. Alright, so all the big YouTubers use really fancy setting, full coverage foundations. L'Oreal Infallible Loose Powder Setting Powder. So for baking, I could definitely say that this is